Today we have presenters CareFusion's IT Director, William Lee, and the Configuration Architect, Jeff Collins, Product Development for VISCOR, Rajesh Kumar, and VP of Sales and Marketing, Gagan Basim.
Thanks, Kayleen. Good morning, everybody. As Gagan, and I am the Vice President of Sales and Marketing and also partner in CRIP. As we wanted to just introduce CRIP to all of you, a few of you may be aware of CRIP, but we wanted to introduce you all to the organization. Headquartered in California, in Sunnyvale, our one-stop shop for supply chain and compliance solutions. One of the fastest growing companies in this space. We have been growing, we grew about 200% year over year in the year 2012, and the 2015 numbers are yet to come out. Very committed in this space. You would see that if at all you would see either our customers presenting or us presenting. We talk about ASA, supply chain conferences, Sapphire, AEI, ICT, and tons of those. A lot of material we publish, whatever we learn from our implementations, we like to learn with the user community. So if you go onto our website, you would find that there is a ton, it's very good for, you would find a large list of white papers and a link to a few of the books that we have authored. We have authored about, I think, 5 books, and the 6th one is going to come out next month or so. And that the next book is on GRC, governance, risk, and compliance. Very focused in this space, and we are taught in this space. We have over 200,000 hours of consulting in this specific space of supply chain and compliance. Heavily investing constantly in the space of innovation. We have a large number of claims pending and a few patents registered to our credit. And also, we have industry solutions for any of this industry. See that CareFusion webinar that we're doing, they're in life science industry. Other than them, we are also currently working with Novartis Pharmaceuticals. We are working with AbbVie. We are working with Varian Medical Systems and various other life sciences and med devices companies. Just to highlight our presence in the life science and med devices space. This brief introduction about CRIP, and if at all you have any further questions, you can definitely ask in the end. Moving forward to the CareFusion introduction.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's a pleasure to be able to be with you today, even if it's by webinar. So thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. And I'll talk a little bit about CareFusion. CareFusion was incorporated in 2009. We're headquartered in San Diego, California. Prior to 2009, we were a part out of Dublin, Ohio. So we're a company that spun off from Cardinal Health in 2009. Our mission is to make global healthcare better. We partner with our customers to help them improve medication management, lower costs in procedural areas, reduce risks of infection, and care patients, and turn the endless amount of data generated in healthcare into actionable information. Our clinically proven product families include Pyxis in medication supply dispensing, Alaris in infusion pumps, Avia in ventilation, and Skin Pincher in surgical instruments, and CoraPrep in skin antiseptic. We have over 14,000 employees globally. We operate in 20 countries. We have 25,000 customers worldwide, and our products are used in 150 countries. Our customers are hospitals, surgical centers, long-term care facilities, and outpatient and ambulatory facilities. Again, it's a pleasure to speak with you today, and I'm glad we have a chance to talk to you about our global trade implementation and specifically about how we use the reporting product that Chris.
All right, thanks, Bill. Appreciate that. So this is Jeff Collins. I'm a global trade and logistics, and I'm going to cover some slides and talk about our product, VISCOR, and talk about what that is, and then what are some of the key benefits of the product, and how can you leverage this technology. And what is VISCOR? So it's a flexible user interface that allows empowered decision makers to proactively identify issues or requirements across the supply chain and make decisions based on real-time data. So examples would be sourcing decisions, resource decisions, and proactive management to requirements or actions. It's a cost-effective solution with pre-delivered templates that can continue to evolve with the product. It's a very flexible product, and we'll get into more detail and talk about what that means. Okay, so VISCOR is predictive analytics and real-time metrics for business users and business managers. So note that what, and Rajesh is going to cover components of this, but when we install VISCOR, the standard content in SAP BW will be included. But in addition to that, you can now have greater visibility across multiple applications, such as extended warehouse, GRC, CRM, SRM, etc. So you have the ability for greater integration and alerts for proactive measures across your entire supply chain. And one of the big features, again, is just really predictive analytics and the pre-delivered templates, KPIs, along with a flexible interface to create new reports, templates, and KPIs. So it's, again, a very flexible solution. Cross-application and flexible. Okay, so what is the value proposition of, or what would really be the ROI? So why VISCOR? To gain a competitive advantage in today's market, you need more efficient and more effective agile enterprise. So that's really what this provides. Where do we find the value in VISCOR? We talk about pre-built templates, KPIs, and alerts, which are really based on so as Doug talked about earlier, the fact that we've authored books and white papers and have a tremendous amount of knowledge internally, that really gets applied and put into this application. So additionally, you have the seamless integration of those key application components along all time. So supply chain management, transportation management, extended warehouse, et cetera. And we can provide those business analytics for order to cash, procure to pay, governance, risk, and compliance. All right, and again, this is easily deployed and a very customized solution, and I'll show you that in a demo after I'm done with my piece. Okay, business value. So what is VISCOR's business value? Again, it leverages CRIP's experience with supply chain process and metrics, which our experience with extended warehouse, and our vast experience with global trade. With that experience comes the pre-built templates and the KPIs, the alerts, and really just the integration knowledge. So now you can easily merge existing workflow, and the flexibility of the tool and the pre-built templates provide for a lower total cost of ownership. The alerts and KPIs also allow for a more streamlined and efficient business model. I'm trying to think of an example. So you can identify that an export license must be renewed before the supply chain is impacted, or look at threshold values for safety stock inventory. Just some examples. VISCOR also adopts the latest technology platforms such as HANA, and is also available for tablets and iPhones. So this is an example of the VISCOR dashboards. So again, VISCOR comes delivered with pre-built SAP solution dashboards. The SAP components really serve as the source of that data. So data is extracted into SAP BW and presented to the visitors. We do have the two flavors, three I guess. Well, there's a desktop version and there's an iPad version, and this can also be developed for the iPhone. So again, remember that customization is key here, and these unique KPIs can be created on these multiple platforms. Okay, so this shows an example of the user-defined dashboards on the HANA platform. Again, this same display also works on the iPad. So notice this example where the information is organized and the user can look at CR trade or supply chain and logistics related data. So it's very well laid out and very presentable to the users, business managers, et cetera. Okay, VISCOR supply chain. So here's an example of supply chain PDI. If you look at this slide. So here my inventory, my traffic, my logistics people can view data related to the warehouse or logistics carriers, for example. If I'm a materials manager, I can look at inventory obsolescence and reconciliation or order reservations. From an integrated perspective, with my data from extended warehouse or my global trade in advance of bookings for a shipment, for example. So again, very, very integrated across multiple applications. Okay, VISCOR trade compliance. Here, the compliance manager can view details surrounding delivery blocks, preferential status for materials related to a free trade agreement, specific SPL-related blocks, so sanctioned party list analysis. Customers who want to evaluate shipments by geography can easily look at the data coming from a combination of management and extended warehouse in combination with my global trade data. So it gives me that integration of multiple applications in support of my processes. Okay, so VISCOR trade and logistics. And we've talked about CareFusion. This is another example of data getting pulled in from multiple sources for forecast and customer orders. One of the pre-delivered templates we're working on, or a couple we're working on, is a landed cost modeler and a broker financial reconciliation report, where these types of requirements will inherently pull from multiple SAP applications. Okay, the VISCOR compliance monitor. This just shows an example where here the customer can leverage VISCOR and so my governance, access controls, process controls, or maybe Sarbanes-Oxley related requirements. Allows for the user to identify risks upfront and establish various alerts. So a tool used extensively for proactive Okay, the VISCOR deployment model. It's important to know that when you implement VISCOR, you get the pre-delivered content and KPIs. That means that it's 70% pre-delivered for the customer. That's a very, very important concept. The dashboard is broken down and delivered by mod and by each customer. Okay, so this is easily deployed, and you're up and running in a very rapid fashion. So what we like to do now is actually kind of show you some of the capabilities beyond just PowerPoint slides. So at this point, I'm going over to Rajesh, my colleague, and he is going to to cover this more.
Developed using business object tools, and it can be launched using VI Launchpad. What we see here is this application caters as a platform and provides us end-to-end visibility for all supply chain operations, and all the source data for analysis for these applications for different modules. The source data has been fed from BW or from different SAP systems in landscape like ECC, TM, GPS, IBM, etc. Pluton HANA are connected to BW systems. So we have modularized the application based on functionality like order to cash, procurement, export analysis, access controls as a different modules, and classified them as shown into different segments like supply chain logistics, complaints. As we see, as we already seen, Jeff has demonstrated a lot about VISCOR, and we see it as a comprehensive product, and in-depth demo on all of the functionalities could take one time. So I'll be focusing more today on what we deployed for CareFusion and briefly demonstrate which reports and information can take in few simple steps. So as we see here, this is a trading complaint segment. We have deployed export analysis and custom declarations, these modules for CareFusion. And we have also customized these modules with little more additional information, what is the purchase order involved in that, and what are the inbound and outbound deliveries for the custom document, whether it's import or export. So when you click on this export analysis, what we see here is two different views. Before that, it gives an option to input. See here, we have input legal control and currency as US dollars. And this is going to give us two different views for exports by product and by customs office. As we see down here, we have different tabs there, product and customs office. And here we can see exports by product, and then for the classification control number, customs product, country of departure, destination, along with net value of sales and delivery, net value of delivery. So all these we can have a complete details by product, and the same way we can have a view by customs office. Here again we have an opportunity with that by input parameters. Once we click on this, we will see a different view of exports by customs office, that is office of departure. And it also tells us the country of origination and destination and transport mode and net price, number of items. In that, we also have quick view in the form of charts, which tells us exports by customs office for country of destination and customs office. It tells us what is the price and what is the number of items. This is about export analysis. We have also deployed customs declarations for CareFusion. Under declarations, we can see all the details for the custom document level, along with graphical representation of bank. So we can see, along with the graphical representation of quantity and gross revenue. It's taking a little time to launch. Here we can see, based on the customs document, we can also see all the details. And the graphical representation shows us what is the quantity and revenue here given destination country. So these are all, and we can also navigate to and restrict the data with the filters going back to the application again, under this segment, trade and compliance, trade operations with pending declarations and monitor SQL screening audit details for block business partners. When we click on this block business partners, we can view all the business partners who were blocked by the address number and SQL screening date and other details. We can see how many customers were blocked, how many business partners were blocked for a country like US and for Germany, etc. But we can value the blocked business partners. In the same way, we can have other analysis and documents also. So these are the few reports which VISCOR can be used. VISCOR dashboards and reports, what we see here can be fully customizable, customized to analytical needs. Now I'm going to hand it over to Mr. William Lee, who is IT Director at CareFusion, who will walk through us the VISCOR deployment at CareFusion. Once again, thanks everybody, and passing it to Mr. Lee.
Thank you, Rajesh. I hope everyone can see my screen. And the first slide, challenges and use cases. Well, the word challenges, if I go back in my memory bank back to the time of this project, was a lot bigger than reporting. As I said earlier in my introduction, which started in existence in 2009, was a spin-off of Cardinal Health. And in fact, we partnered with CRIP as a part of TSA exit from Cardinal Health to replace all of our existing trade systems from which we were using locations from Cardinal Health. So our challenge was, at a high level, to exit a TSA, bring in a completely automated worldwide export compliance tool using SAP GTS and our European import tool. And routing was a small component of a date-driven, massive project to actually stand up all of our trade practices. So, you know, our major challenge was basically to do the impossible, which was to exit a very large TSA with a fully automated trade practice using SAP GTS, and at the same time also have some reporting capabilities. CareFusion, because it has grown through acquisition and is a multifaceted multiple SAP platforms. We have an instance in the UK and a separate instance in the US, along with other ERP systems that are non-SAP. Our chief goal in reporting was to concentrate on trade compliance, and I would say it wasn't a one-to-one switch to just replace existing reporting capability. VISCOR out of the enhancement to the current reports that we were using out of the various systems from Cardinal Health. So right off the bat, VISCOR out of the box gave us more reporting capabilities than we had prior. Still, from a our global trade partners wanted to bring in some additional information into the standard work that was offered by VISCOR. And we did. So our enhancements included bringing in product attributes, including product material type, export indicator. We also brought in custom documents, compliance documents, and we all integrated this through BEX. From a timing perspective, our blueprinting took about 2 weeks, revision about 8 weeks, and Crypt was also responsible for knowledge transfer to our BI team. At the end of the day, though, this was in the most sense a turnkey operation. It did most of the heavy lifting, and our business community wasn't burdened in the middle of an implementation trying to figure out what they wanted to do from a requirements perspective on reporting, given the fact that they had so many other things to deal with in regards to the overall GS. From a timing perspective, I think it took about 280 hours worth of work to build the standard cubes, and our customization was about 120 hours or so versus amount of work. We built 2 cubes, and I stand for 16 reports. At a high level, when I've gone back, and we went live in about the March-April timeframe, we've spent probably the first couple months kind of digging out of being on a new system, and we actually implemented GTS in the August and September timeframe. But still, in talking to the GTS operational team, they've been able to leverage VISCOR to help with reconciliation of duty taxes by business unit, and they now have a tool that they can do trade lane analysis by business. Prior to implementing GTS and prior to implementing VISCOR, I can tell you that getting reports out of our current systems was very difficult, and in fact, trying to build the business case for and explain the nature of trade compliance from a traceability perspective, from a transactional perspective, and from a dollar perspective, it was very difficult to explain to executives the size and the complexity and the importance of global trade, because the KPIs didn't exist in the current systems to be able to get that information. And you can believe, even the times that I had to explain the size of our organization, the number of countries we were in, the transactional and dollar value, it was very difficult to get all those key indicators because we didn't have the systems and reportings and supply chain visibility given our prior landscape to be able to answer questions. We're in a very powerful position where we can leverage the data that VISCOR provides, and from a best practice perspective, use these KPIs for supply chain visibility to improve our efficiencies, lower our risk in compliance, and with delays in supply chain complexities. And we also have a very good visibility in regards to all of the complexities in regards to the regs that exist. So I know it sounds too good to be true to get, at a key reporting solution that actually bettered and improved upon what we had before, but in this case it's particularly true. And I think in the future, especially with a lot of the trending information that we'll be able to have over time, this is going to be very powerful to help CareFusion in the future.
Thank you, everyone.